for expert analysis on all that you've heard from the Minister of Foreign Affairs. I'm being joined in the studio by Dr. Ibrahim Modibbo, who's a scholar and public affairs analyst. Thank you for coming this evening.
Thank you, Dr. Constance. It's good to be here with you.
You've heard all that the minister said.
Yes.
Let's start on policy clarification. Based on the minister's statements, how do you feel the government's current foreign policy direction is clear to Nigerians, or to you as you were listening?
Thank you very much for this invite, Dr. Constance. Ambassador Yusuf Tuga, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, somebody that is well known to me, and I've known him to be a complete gentleman, a diplomat par excellence, and also one individual that I know is competent. One of the most worthy and outstanding narrative about this interview, based on Nigeria's foreign policy, is that, to me, if you ask me, honestly, I've not been able to get the stronghold of Nigeria's foreign policy as it is today. Agreed, it's in the Constitution. Africa is the center point of Nigeria's foreign policy, looking at the issues of commitment to African unity, peace, and tranquility, and looking at other multilateral engagements with other nations and what have you. The ministry has been dormant. For a very long time, I've not seen the ambassador or any foreign affairs minister or ministry talking about Nigeria's foreign policy, having engaged robust engagement with Nigerians. They've been on the dormant side. And it's good today that you've been able to pull him out of the cocoon where he is to come and explain to Nigeria some of these fundamental policies.
And were you impressed with his explanations?
Well, he has gone on a long journey of discovery, trying to impress Nigeria or trying to come out to look at the questions dispassionately. I think he has tried, but to a large extent, there are a lot of pitfalls. I saw the question you posed us, but you know, as a diplomat and also a very intelligent person, he has been able to dodge some of the questions. Not going straight to the point, looking at the questions from peripheral angle. Look at it this way. The issue of ECOWAS, 3 countries leaving ECOWAS, it has never happened in the history of the West African sub-region. It has never. Mauritania only went once, only it were left. But for these countries to leave 3 countries that are bordering Nigeria, you know that, Dr. Constance, once your neighbor is in trouble, or once your neighbor is not sleeping, you too will not sleep. That is the problem. And Nigeria has not been able to look at the issues dispassionately. Because for the exit of these countries that are sharing common borders with us, it is a serious problem to us. He's talking about Libya training terrorists and what have you, giving the arms and ammunition. Through which routes were they coming to Nigeria? Through all these borders. And if for any reason, I know as your neighbor, I'm not comfortable with you, I'll open my border and I'll pretend as if I have not seen anything. So the earlier we try to mend our fences, look at Africa as center point of our foreign policy, the better for us. As it is today, Nigerians will agree that our foreign policy direction is moving towards France. Because
so he did say that we've always had that partnership or relationship with France, so this is not new. You don't agree with him?
No, I don't. This is the only time that I've seen us getting close and closer to France. Never in the history of Nigeria have we seen this romance between Nigeria's government and France. Why have we not been going to America? Why have we not been going to UK, our colonial masters, to have a robust engagement in terms of policy, trust, and what have you? Why have we not been doing that?
So what do you think are the implications in the context of the fact that these countries, or some of these countries cut ties with France, and now we're bringing them close?
You see, like the issue of Niger, the president of Niger, Chiani, has stated clearly that there are some influences that he has been able to see on the footprints of this contact between Nigeria and France. Now, the best thing is for us to have a kind of credible investigation to look at what he's been saying. It's not good to just dismiss it by the way of the hand, because Niger, it is our partner. Niger is our neighbor. And therefore, let me tell you, we have to look at this thing dispassionately. Let us sit down with these people. It's not late. We should open our flanks, sit down with all these Francophone countries. These Francophone countries were more engaged with France than us because of their communality in terms of assimilation policy and also in terms of their linguistic common stance. Now, Nigeria, we are romancing, we are going closer and closer to France, leaving America, leaving Britain, leaving even China, coming to France. You see, the government might have suspicion. And that is why that man is raising some fundamental questions, especially the president of Niger. He's raising fundamental questions. Even if Nigeria is right by not engaging itself, you see, you have to place accusations sometimes on somebody for him to come out and defend himself. And that's exactly what Nigeria is doing. By the romance, Nigeria is accusing Nigeria that it's trying to torpedo the activities of the government and also trying to sabotage the country. Whether Nigeria is doing that or not, Niger now, by putting the cart before the horse,
right, it
has put Nigeria in a very strategic position, in a very precarious situation where it has to be defending itself. I would have loved Ambassador Tuga to be defending Nigeria if these issues are coming. There are foreign policies. There are issues that the Foreign Affairs Ministry should have been coming and talk about Nigeria. But unfortunately, we've been hearing other national security advisors or advisors of the president or from the presidency talking on these issues. It is his mainstay. That's why he's the ambassador.
Right. So what other pitfalls did you draw from the conversation we had? You said there are a couple of them.
Yes. You see, we have to look at the issues of these ambassadorial postings. Nigeria is vulnerable. If Buhari has not appointed ambassadors from 2015 till 2017, Tinubu administration also move beyond the confines of that point. If you ask me, I'll say no. There is the need for us to have ambassadors, whether we like it or not. That is, you see, this is the beauty of democracy. It's a government of the people, for the people, and by the people. Look at the American system now. President Trump, as it is today, has not been sworn in for a second term. But do you know that he has been able to choose his ministers? He has been able to get strategic people in strategic areas. That is to tell you that this is somebody that is having, that's prepared for governance. Are you telling me now that in 6 months, if you are president, if you give me the presidency of this country, believe me, in 2-3 months, I'll be able to fish out brains, intellectuals, people of competence that from all the states of the federation that will be able to man our embassies. Missions and embassies, because the missions and embassies of Nigeria, they are very critical our existence in terms of social, economic, security-wise. Because
we want to join the G20, we want to expand our political relations with multilateral institutions.
Yes, and look at even what he's talking about this joining United Nations Security Council. How can they give us? When we've not shown a lot of commitment in terms of internal relations. Because once you have ambassadors, that means you have the presidency informed. But you do not expect the president to go to a consular, somebody that is a junior staff that has just been made maybe level 7 or 12 officer that has been made a head of consulate and what have you, and start discussing to him about the country, because he might not have the wherewithal or the competence. But if he's an ambassador, they know that, look, this government is serious, this government has focus, and also this government is looking at the international foreign policy with clear direction. There's nothing like conundrum in terms of appointing ambassadors. Right. Get the right people, fix them there. We don't need to stay 2-3 years. Out of 4 years, you're putting ambassadors. And when they come, 2-3 years, they will remove them.
So the minister implied that Nigerians are hard on themselves, that the world sees us from a better lens and perspective than we see ourselves. Do you agree with that?
No, I don't. I don't. You see, Dr. Constance, if you put a mirror and you are looking at your face, if you see there are pimples, breaking the mirror does not solve the situation. If you're in government and you feel that what people are saying, or Nigerians, the way they look at themselves, they know the problems associated with the country. You don't have to look at or assess yourself from the viewpoint of an outsider. The man inside knows where the shoes pinches. And therefore, Nigerians as they are today, they are the ones that knows the problem of the country. They are the ones that know the pitfalls. They are the ones that knows where to plug the square pegs in the square holes. Therefore, if you talk about in other countries looking at the Nigerian foreign policy and you say they are impressed, I don't think it's true. Go anywhere in Nigeria today, people read. We are in a global society. Under globalization and multiculturalism, we share a lot of things together. And therefore, what people read, now the beauty of democracy, the beauty of this social media, and the beauty of television and radio is that people read. They read everything about you. Don't pretend to think that, look, they don't know about you. They know. That is why today, with all the foreign policy we have with France, have we been able to get investors from France? Have we been able to make any serious impact?
Well, there are a few French companies in Nigeria that have been there for quite a while.
But we're talking of new ones.
Right.
With all this, this transversing between Nigeria and France that the president has embarked from almost about 10 times, within a year or two, I think there should have been something concrete to show commitment, to show value, to show significance and show relationship. But as it is today, to me, I think we're supposed to open our flanks, look at the horizon from a very wider perspective with a view to not only centralizing our foreign policy towards France alone. No. We should look at other countries, especially China, that will be able to assist and come into this country with investment and whatever. Because Chinese, they are very open. They can come, even if they can get money, even if it is coma.
But we do have a partnership with China.
Yes, we do.
Europe, yes.
But is the commitment there? Is it strong as it is with France?
Okay. All right. Dr. Ibrahim Modibbo, public affairs analyst and scholar, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Dr. Constance.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, that's it for this edition of Arise Prime Time. Do join us again tomorrow. From me and the entire team here in Abuja, it's goodbye and thank you for watching.